Brussels could grant Britain extra leeway to help eliminate some post-Brexit trade checks on Northern Ireland. Irish Foreign Minister Simon Coveney said EU chiefs were open to exploring flexibilities but only if Downing Street publishes its plan to implement the protocol to avoid a hard border. He said if the UK delivers a clear roadmap setting out how it will implement the border plan, then the bloc would be more willing to offer concessions. Mr. Coveney tonight met with Commission Vice President Maros Sefcovic, who is now responsible for Brexit, to discuss the Brexit divorce deal's so-called Northern Ireland Protocol. The Irishman told RTE, "I think certainly the EU side wants to get a process underway again so that both sides are talking to each other. There has been some back and forth this week between the two sides so far, which is good, but I think from an EU perspective, what really they're asking for now is clarity around a roadmap, to deliver what has been committed to by the British side." Quote. Talks over the protocol recently blew up after Downing Street announced plans to unilaterally scrap EU red tape for Northern Ireland. Number 10 argued that the move was needed to protect supermarket supply chains and prevent a food shortage in the region, but Brussels moved to sue Britain, insisting the government was in breach of the Brexit deal it agreed to in 2019. Mr. Coveney suggested it could drop a number of complaints if the UK could provide detailed plans for the completion of permanent border posts at Belfast and Larne ports and provide EU member states with access to customs databases. Quote. These are things that are essential for the protocol to function, and I think if there is clarity around that roadmap of delivery, then obviously the UK have asks as well, in terms of flexibilities, extensions of grace periods and so on, which the EU will look at, he said. I think everybody wants to try to resolve these issues through dialogue and discussion, as opposed to legal action and standoffs, which has unfortunately been where we've been for the last number of days. Both sides are now working on trying to understand clearly what's required to get the protocol back on an even keel where both sides can be working in partnership with each other rather than trying to outmaneuver each other, or certainly moving away from unilateral actions. Mr. Coveney said Mr. Sefcovic was being pushed by member states to take a firm position on the UK's plans to unilateral extend grace periods from Brussels red tape. He said the Slovak diplomat would be open to looking at more flexibility and more pragmatism in terms of some of the difficult elements of the protocol, if Britain publishes its implementation road map for the border plan.